Britain eat more breakfast cereal than any other nation in Europe. In fact, 87% of British adults sit down to a bowl every day.
Back in the first half of the 20th century, eating cereal had already become well established. But it was the 1950s that sealed the deal for our love affair with cereal. I want to find out what triggered the start of cereal domination after the war. From advertising guru Robin Wright.
Rationing disappeared, the sugar-coated products arrived, and kids gobbled them up. And then at the same time, almost, television arrived, with television advertising promoting these new products.
The other game changer for cereal companies was a crucial shift in family dynamics.
The power of what I've called the tyrant child emerged. There was a shift to recognise the power of children. They were the big consumers.
Advertisers responded by inventing pester power.
Doodaloo, you get me free.
Me?
Not only were we showing the brand to a child very early on, we were then using what's now called loyalty marketing, so that irrespective of the taste, they'd like to have the toy, they'd like to play games on the side of the pack. All these things are unfurled in Britain, and British kids, and I was one of them, really loved it. It was fun, it was great. Of course, while we were enjoying it, these brands were embedded in our brains, so even now, all those years later, what's my favourite cereal? It's Weetabix.
Cereal is the only food on the menu at one London cafe, owned by Gary and Alan Keary. So I went to find out why it's still so appealing to adults.
I don't think I have ever seen so many cereals all in one place. It's quite astounding, isn't it? I mean, what is so special about cereal?
Well, for us, it was when we were kids, it was the first thing that we fell in love with. We remember going to the supermarket and giving that choice once a week to buy a cereal that you had to eat for the rest of the week, and it was the biggest responsibility you had.
So do you think that cereals are really just a childhood thing?
I think everything is all about nostalgia these days. People like to feel like a kid again, even though they're not.
We always used to, in the mornings, like, turn over the cereal box and used to do, like, the little puzzles on the back.
Yeah. We had to pour out the whole cereal, get the toy.
And nostalgia certainly seems to pay. The 6 top sellers in the UK today were all invented more than 30 years ago.
Some ad campaigns have barely changed since the successes of the 1950s, and they're still as effective now as they were back then.
Oh, I love Cocoa Pops.
Snap, crackle and pop. Snap, crackle and pop.
The cereal industry has never stopped growing, and in the UK it's now worth around £1.57 billion.